From heartbreaking missed putts to jaw-dropping final hole meltdowns, these are the 10 most outrageous chokes in golf history. And first, we start with number 10. Phil Mickelson's heartbreaking collapse at the 2006 US Open. It's the final hole of the 2006 US Open at Winged Foot. Phil Mickelson stands on the 18th tee with a one-shot lead. One safe par, and he wins the one major that's always slipped away. The crowd knows it. He knows it.
All right, tee shot for Mickelson.
This better be a forward.
Oh, doesn't like this one.
Going way left, way left. Oh, what a bounce out into the rough to the right. But I don't think that'll leave him much.
Off of the hospitality tent.
I'll tell you what, right now Ben Hogan is officially rolled over in his grave.
But instead of playing it safe with an iron or fairway wood, Mickelson pulls out the driver. A bold move, one that immediately backfires. His tee shot hooks wildly left, hits a tree, and ends up in deep rough.
Oh no, it's caught an elm tree solid. And I believe it's gone backwards. And he still has got to be in a very bad situation, blocked out.
Still, possible to recover, but his second shot hits another tree. His third? A short miss into the greenside bunker.
It's the third. Forward.
Get him! He's going to way left. He's going to try to get it up and in from, well, it's got...
From there, the collapse is complete. He fails to get up and down and walks away with a double bogey.
Jeff Ogilvy survives.
Just like that, Jeff Ogilvy wins by one stroke. Mickelson's shot at history is gone. Afterward, standing in front of reporters, he delivers the now famous line, "I am such an idiot." It wasn't scripted. It didn't need to be. It summed up everything: confusion, frustration, and regret. This wasn't just another loss. This was a defining collapse. One hole, one decision, one swing that turned a near-certain victory into another heartbreak in a major. A moment that left fans stunned and Mickelson devastated. And while he's gone on to win other big tournaments, that day at Winged Foot remains one of the most painful chapters in his career. And if you think this was bad, wait until you see what happened at number 9. Matthew Wolff's rookie nightmare at the 2020 US Open. Matthew Wolff was just 21 years old, leading the 2020 US Open at Pebble Beach with 2 holes to play. A rookie in his first major contention, he had a 2-shot lead standing on the 17th green. All he needed was to hold steady.
Takes the club back way in the outside.
Way left. Boy, on the wind moving left.
That was all hands and club face.
Oh boy. This should catch the slope here, which will kill some of its momentum, loop it back down to the right.
I don't know how you could do much better than that. That's
You
an
can't.
amazing
That's
shot.
about as good as he could possibly do.
Fabulous shot. And that'll be interesting to see if there's any furniture between him and the hole. Just Hayes might have held it up.
Then came the first mistake, a 3-putt on 17. Costly, but not fatal. He still held a chance to close the door.
Oh, this should be beautiful. Perfect.
Yep. Scoots it.
That looks good.
Okay.
You know, it's funny, they both said that if they're going to win, they need to hit more fairways, but I don't know why they think that.
On 18, needing par to stay in contention, Wolff had a short putt, just 3 feet to save par. He stepped up, took his stroke, and missed. A 3-footer. Gone.
This hit much higher and left to the hole. Good looking shot.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, we've seen a lot of guys have to
Make yourself better. All right, Wolff birdie putt on the way. Up the hill. But a fantastic start for this group, although DeChambeau has...
In an instant, his lead disappeared. From solo first to a tie for 4th, with no playoff and no shot at the title. The crowd's reaction said it all. Stunned silence. What had looked like a dream finish suddenly turned into a harsh lesson. It wasn't a massive blow-up over several holes. It was just 2 mistakes. But at that level, that's all it takes. A 3-putt and a short miss. The kind of errors you expect from an amateur, not from a pro leading the US Open. Wolff walked off the green without a trophy, and with a look of disbelief etched across his face. The raw pain of what could have been was visible for everyone to see. It wasn't just a miss, it was a moment that will follow him for the rest of his career. Ready for number 8? Trust me, it only gets worse. Dustin Johnson's 30-second collapse at the 2015 US Open. Dustin Johnson was right there. After a week of grinding through the brutal setup at Chambers Bay, he'd played himself into position to win his first major championship. He had the power, he had the poise, and on the 72nd hole, he had the perfect opportunity, a 12-foot eagle putt to win the US Open. His tee shot was massive. His approach, even better. It set him up with a clean look at history. Make the eagle, and he walks off a champion. Miss it in 2-putt? He still forces a playoff with Jordan Spieth. The stakes couldn't have been clearer, but this is where the story takes a brutal turn. Johnson rolled the eagle putt just past the hole. Not ideal, but manageable.
Jordan Spieth.
He now faced a 4-footer to tie. One simple putt, and somehow he missed it. Not a lip out, not a bad break, just a straight-up miss. In a span of less than a minute, DJ went from major winner to runner-up. The crowd didn't even know how to react. He looked stunned. So did everyone else. For a player known for his calm demeanor, that moment revealed just how cruel golf can be. And speaking of slow-burning collapses, number 7 will have you holding your breath the whole way through. Dustin Johnson's rulebook nightmare at the 2010 PGA Championship. Dustin Johnson was steps away from a playoff at the 2010 PGA Championship at Whistling Straits. After grinding through 4 tough rounds, he stood on the 18th hole needing par to stay tied for the lead. He missed the fairway right, into an area trampled by spectators, an ugly patch of sandy dirt, littered with footprints. But DJ didn't think much of it. To him, it looked like a worn-out waste area, not a bunker.
Johnson again playing his second shot, hole 18, needing a par for the win. He pulls this to the left and finds the deep cabbage.
So, like any player would, he grounded his club behind the ball. He didn't know it at the time, but that move would cost him everything.
Johnson knocked it to 11 feet and had this for his par. It was not to be, and a sigh of relief as Bubba Watson and Martin Keimer look on. Johnson knocks in his...
After he finished the hole, thinking he was headed to a playoff, tournament officials pulled him aside. That patch of sand? Officially a bunker. And grounding your club in a bunker? Against the rules. It was printed clearly on a local rules sheet. Every bit of sand on the course, even outside the ropes, counted as a hazard. The penalty...
But as he walked off the green, he was informed by a PGA Tour official that there may have been an infraction. Take a closer look at his second shot from the right side of the 18th. He grounded his club in the bunker. He did not sign a scorecard yet, so he has taken a 2-stroke penalty and will not be in the playoff.
The penalty, 2 strokes. In an instant, Johnson's par turned into a double bogey. From tied for the lead to tied for 5th. No playoff, no shot at the title. What made it worse was how avoidable it was. A simple glance at the rule sheet could have saved his shot at a major. But who reads those, right? This wasn't a swing mistake. It wasn't a mental collapse. It was a technicality, one that rewrote the ending of DJ's major dream in the harshest way possible. And speaking of gut punch finishes, the next collapse is one that came quietly, but hit just as hard. Adam Scott's nightmare in slow motion at the 2012 Open Championship. Adam Scott had it in the bag. With 4 holes to go at Royal Lytham and St. Anne's in the 2012 Open Championship, he held a commanding 4-shot lead. It wasn't just a cushion, it was the kind of lead that felt untouchable. Fans were already picturing the claret jug in his hands. But then, everything changed. Not with a single disastrous hole, but with a quiet unraveling, one bogey at a time.
This is the putt of the championship, Peter.
Yes,
If ever you wanted to hold one, just to keep a one-shot lead.
Oh boy. Well, that all happened amazing. He birdies the 14th, fist pump, had 4-shot lead, and he's now just bogeyed the next 3.
On the 15th, a missed fairway and a missed par putt. Bogey. No panic yet. Still up by 3.
Somehow he's got to gather himself. Bogey, 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 and a tee shot like this off the left. Bunkers everywhere.
He's watching it very carefully. It's heading a little right, and it's in. It's in one of the bunkers. Up again.
On the 16th, another mistake, another bogey. The lead shrinks. Pressure builds.
Oh, it looks like it. It's trying. It's trying. It's a super golf.
By 17, the rhythm is gone. Confidence is slipping. He walks off with a 3rd straight bogey. And now, for the first time all day, he's behind.
Bottom. Breathing. This is it. This to tie. Nope. And there it is. Adam Scott. Ernie else wins. Congratulations, Ernie. And Adam Scott's going to be scarred for life.
By the time Scott steps onto the 18th tee, the lead he held just minutes ago has vanished. He needs a par to force a playoff. He hits a decent drive. Then comes the approach, left of the green. A tricky up and down awaits. His par putt slides by. Another bogey.
Absolutely shattered.
The prize presentation will take place in approximately 5 minutes.
Just like that, Ernie Els, who had already posted his score, becomes champion golfer of the year. Scott's collapse wasn't loud or messy. It was slow, silent, and excruciating. One hole at a time, the trophy slipped through his fingers. It wasn't a disaster, it was a controlled fall, and that might be the worst kind of all. Still, even that can't compare to number 5, when the pressure of chasing Tiger proved too much to handle. Thomas Bjorn's 2003 Open collapse at Royal St. George's. Thomas Bjorn was 3 holes away from winning the Open Championship. After 68 holes of poised, controlled golf, he held a 3-shot lead with just 4 to play at Royal St. George's. The claret jug was in sight. History was knocking. But golf has a cruel way of humbling even the most composed players.
6-iron for Bjorn.
And I'm screaming no when it's 50 yards off the tee, like, you know what's coming.
Oh, hang on. Gone.
The disaster began at the par 3 16th. Bjorn found a greenside bunker, a tough but manageable spot for a pro. Then came the moment that still haunts him. It took him 3 shots to escape. His 3rd attempt barely made it out. The lead was gone. The panic had started.
And 3 demons in a you know, those things are always going to come at you because it's a moment.
He bogeyed 17. The pressure didn't just chip away, it crushed him. What had once looked like a steady march to victory turned into a desperate scramble just to hang on. On the 18th, needing a birdie to force a playoff, Bjorn couldn't pull off the miracle. Ben Curtis, an unheralded 26-year-old ranked 396th in the world, became the champion golfer of the year. Bjorn, the seasoned pro, was left staring into the distance. A meltdown not built on wild shots or huge numbers, but on the slow, excruciating unraveling of nerves at the worst possible moment. It was a lesson in how fragile control can be in this game, and how one bunker can bury not just a ball, but a dream. And speaking of pressure, number 4 might be the most iconic crumble under the spotlight in Masters history. Greg Norman's unforgettable collapse at the 1996 Masters. If there's one name that golf fans associate with heartbreak, it's Greg Norman. And no collapse tells that story better than what happened on Sunday at Augusta in 1996. Norman started the final round of the Masters with a 6-shot lead. 6 strokes. That's not a lead. It's a safety net. At least it should have been. For 3 days, he had been in complete control, playing bold, confident golf. Fans were already imagining him slipping into the green jacket. It felt like destiny.
And that's a costly one. He'll lead by 4, but increase it to 5 and come into 8, he would be.
But as the final round unfolded, that confidence started to crack. A missed fairway here, a bad approach there. Suddenly, the putts stopped dropping.
Oh, there it is, Kenny. That's what you have to guard against. That is, you just can't do that. You have to be long. Faldo was long, way long, but he was right. He played the right shot. Now you got a big problem.
He was making all of these the first 3 days. Not now. This is only...
The lead that once looked untouchable began to shrink, slowly at first, then rapidly. Nick Faldo, playing in the same group, didn't have to do anything spectacular. He just stayed steady and watched Norman unravel. By the time they reached Amen Corner, Norman looked like a different player. Gone was the swagger, replaced by hesitation and frustration. He carded a final round 78, 6 over par. Not only did he lose his 6-shot lead, he lost by 5 strokes, a complete 11-shot swing in 1 round. It wasn't just a choke, it became the standard for chokes in golf history. The collapse of collapses. One that still haunts highlight reels, and Norman himself, decades later. But heartbreak doesn't discriminate by experience. Number 3 shows how even underdogs can feel the weight of history. Mito Pereira's dream turns to disaster at the 2022 PGA Championship. Mito Pereira wasn't supposed to be there. Ranked 100th in the world, playing in just his second major championship ever, the Chilean underdog had stunned everyone by leading the PGA Championship going into the final round. And somehow, he still held that lead, by 1 shot, as he stood on the 18th tee on Sunday, 1 hole away from history. He didn't need a birdie, he didn't need to be flashy, just a simple par, and he'd become the first Chilean to ever win a major. But that's when golf, in all its quiet cruelty, showed its teeth.
Ready to play, we all good? Yeah, let me just use it again. Yeah, it's left to right with some help. Yeah, all checked out, mate. 204 total.
He's dropped this ball a little more back up the fairway. It's actually 193 to the hole.
Playing his 3rd.
5 iron. It's left and not cutting.
Oh, dear.
Pereira stepped up with a driver, aggressive, but understandable. He swung and the ball took off like it had a mind of its own. A wild slice. It didn't find the fairway. It didn't even land in a bunker. It found a tiny creek, one that most players probably didn't even know existed. From there, it unraveled quickly. He scrambled to recover but couldn't save it. He made double bogey. Just like that, he fell from first place to tied for 3rd. No playoff, no trophy. Just a stunned expression and one heartbreaking quote. "I just wanted to put it in play. I guess I aimed too far right." It was raw, honest, and gut-wrenching to watch. Now imagine being just 21 years old, standing on golf's biggest stage. That's what makes number 2 so painful. Rory McIlroy's meltdown at the 2011 Masters. At just 21 years old, Rory McIlroy was on the verge of superstardom. With a 4-shot lead heading into the final round at Augusta, it looked like we were witnessing the beginning of a dynasty. For 3 days, Rory had played flawless golf, smooth swing, sharp focus, ice in his veins. Sunday was supposed to be a coronation.
And now Rory, look out.
Is a lot of vines over there?
What?
Instead, it became a nightmare. Things started to slip slowly. A missed par here, a shaky swing there. But when he stepped onto the 10th tee, it all came apart. His drive hooked hard left, so far offline, it landed near the cabins left of the fairway. That's right, the cabins. The ones TV cameras never even show. That's how far off course he was.
Find a way to get it back on the map.
Wow.
Oh, look at us running down it.
Spectacular. Back to 10.
And the third. Better be careful left
Going
again.
left again. Oh my goodness, he's
this one.
From there, the unraveling accelerated. By the time he reached the iconic 13th hole, his ball was floating in Rays Creek. The kid who'd looked invincible just hours earlier now looked lost, shaken, out of answers. He shot a final round 80, the worst score of the day. Not just losing the lead, but free-falling down the leaderboard.
He's got to get up and over this little tree. And that hit it.
11 to really put you back on the upward spiral.
His 5th shot finally finds the surface. Salvages 6. The misery is over.
That Sunday didn't just cost Rory the green jacket, it forced a hard reset. He later admitted it was one of the toughest days of his career. The pressure didn't just get to him, it swallowed him whole. Jordan Spieth's collapse. That shook Augusta in 2016. Jordan Spieth was untouchable. At just 22 years old, he had already won 2 majors and was the defending Masters champion. On Sunday afternoon in 2016, he stood on the 10th tee at Augusta with a 5-shot lead, 5 strokes ahead with just 9 holes to play. It looked like history was in the making. Golf's next dynasty was about to be crowned.
Jordan Spieth trying for his 2nd Masters win in a row.
And then, the collapse began. A bogey on the 10th. Fine, it happens. Another bogey at 11. Okay, nerves maybe, but the lead was still intact. But what happened next? No one saw coming.
And then the 12th hole. Right into Rays Creek. He's getting up. He swings again.
Oh my goodness.
His 3rd shot at redemption.
Unbelievable.
At the infamous 12th hole, the par 3 over Rays Creek, Spieth stepped up and fired. The ball splashed. Then came the drop, and that one went in the water too. A 2nd shot. Same result. The Golden Boy suddenly looked shaken. By the time he finished the hole, he had carded a quadruple bogey, a 7 on a par 3. In just under 30 minutes, he went from leading by 5 to trailing by 3. The collapse wasn't just shocking, it was historic. The Masters, once all but secured, slipped away. Danny Willett walked away with the green jacket, while Spieth was left stunned, head down, trying to process what just happened. And if you thought these were the most shocking meltdowns golf has ever seen, think again, because there's a whole other level of chaos, heartbreak, and disbelief waiting for you. Click on the next video and get ready to witness the moments that redefined what a real golf collapse looks like.